maybe... okay, so maybe I might even retract what I said earlier. It's possible that the timing attack wasn't what killed him, but rather that even if you see it coming, you couldn't prepare. But it's very difficult to know unless you get a straight-up game to compare it to.
Yeah, well, I mean, those timing attacks can come in many forms, right? So that DTs could have been a +1 Zealot timing with Warp Prism.
Yep,
that
sure.
lends itself ridiculously well to that push that we actually saw there. But regardless, guys, let's jump into the game before we get on to any other formalities, as we do have down bottom left-hand corner, Mr. SKMC going to be spawning as our red Protoss. And spawning up to the top right-hand corner, we have Carontes of Vortix, one half of the Spanish Armada, looking to try and bring it back here to take that top spot against MC.
All right, so, Kalaris, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Sure.
DTs or no DTs? That is the question.
I think he's going to do it. I really do.
I think he's going to do it.
I mean, there's not a massive... this map functions in a similar way to how Cloud Kingdom works when it comes to hiding things. The bottom left-hand corner of MC's base is a place where you very, very rarely end up scouting with things like overlords and stuff. So if he was going to make a DT shrine for whatever reason, it will be definitely down in that bottom left-hand corner. And it's so hard to scout out unless you're so methodical.
No, that's a great point, actually. There's not that much airspace sort of on those edges of the base. So when you hide something, the overlords take forever to get there. And of course, if you have a couple of stalkers in useful positions, they can just never get in. So yeah, it's very easy to hide buildings here. Let's find out if he does choose to do the exact same thing. Forge going down now in addition to the pool. Not too much to chat about until we get to those tech choices. But what would Vortix's game plan on this map be?
Vortix's game plan. Well, again, if you'd asked me that a few months ago, I would have said drops. He is an absolute beast with that kind of style, but again, he's stabilized. He feels a lot more comfortable going into the later stages of the game. This is really amusing here with the double probe drones trying to block that. I think he was actually using the second drone to try and block the pylon, but was unsuccessful in that regard. I mean, obviously, to chase off a probe is pretty useful. You can get a lot of guaranteed damage onto it. But Vortix here really wants that base down because he knows exactly behind this, MC is also going to be playing very economically.
This is so frustrating as well. Allowing the pylon to finish his MC and not quite delaying the third hatchery as much as he would have liked. That probe has to get out of there. It didn't actually have that low health, so I think Vortix was just able to outmaneuver. 4 Lings are now out there. The pylon is going to go down at the natural expansion, and he will go up to 3 bases as normal.
And meanwhile, just a normal game. I mean, Vortix here on this map, he feels so comfortable. It's like, yeah, there's the 3 bases for Protoss, and that's fine, but even when Vortix actually gains control of a 4th base here, the way in which the 4th base dynamic works for Zerg on this map, generally if you've got your Hive and Spire out at a normal time, Broodlords are an absolute pain in the bejeebers across that chasm that's just next to the 4th base. Because you can't deal with them. Even if you've got Mothership Stalker and Vortex and all of this dynamics out, throwing down a Vortex across that chasm, what are you going to do? Ha ha ha, you can't get any Archons in there or anything like that. Yeah. It's so annoying. That little frowny face we see. The mustache. It's the shape of Australia. That top chasm at the 4th base is the shape of Australia, I promise you.
That's a really good point. The one on top doesn't look like Australia. It looks like it's actually like the Batman logo.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
The one on the bottom is like a vague shape of Australia. So, guys, as we don't get distracted too much further, Infeza just not interested in that. As we could see, the probe does manage to get back into the main base, no problem. Was chased by a Zergling there. And, yeah, otherwise we're just going to be continuing. We have the Queen moving down to the natural expansion, and Link still being active out around the map, which is really nice from Vortex, just making sure MC's not hiding anything.
Dude, I love messing with Infeza. He's like my brother from across the world. He's so cool. I'm gonna make him my new brother. So thank you very much, Infeza. I appreciate you so much.
Your new brother? Does that mean there's like an old brother that's been discarded?
I love his smiles. It's the best thing ever. It's so cute. Okay, so my other brother, yeah, he's been discarded now. Okay. He doesn't exist anymore. There's like literally no pictures of him on the internet, so technically he doesn't exist.
I need you to do me a favor.
What's that?
Just don't make me your brother.
Ah, okay.
Because that's like a time bomb for me to not exist.
Like a new, more impressive brother comes along, and then it's
only
discard.
Only he has that power, man.
Yeah,
Came back into Lenok, then life.
He does. He does. Yeah, that's actually really true. Yeah. All right, what do we have going on? What's going on in this game? It looks like MC, surprise, surprise, wants a 3rd on Entombed Valley. Who would have guessed?
A little bit of a shocker there, but a Zergling is going to frustrate him a little bit, so returning the favor from earlier if you like, but no, he's going to put down the Nexus anyway, and oh wow, actually getting the probe killed, but the Nexus will go down. Just send another unit or two to deal with that, and Overlord also supply blocking Vortix, importantly, but only for a few seconds, and yeah, he's just going to get that up fairly comfortably. He's got, we do have a layer coming down now at around the 7-minute 30 mark. The Roach Warren's nearly complete as well. So I don't think Vortix is going to try and deny the third here.
Yeah, this is like, I mean, this is just the most standard of standard. Just many a drone on the way here for him. He did go for a 1-gate expand onto that third base. So, I mean, this build that MC is doing is almost identical to what Hasu Obs was doing against Vortix, but without the addition of that cannon actually working on the rocks. So he's going to have a little bit of a harder time breaking it down. Oh, actually, now the cannon is working on the rocks. Wow, that's actually in range. That's pretty impressive there.
That's actually quite big range there.
Yeah. But,
I'll tell you what it is, because the cannon can reach the edge of the rocks, but once it starts hitting it, obviously the way the graphic works is that it can hit all air, so it looks like it's hitting the middle of the rocks when it actually isn't.
So now we have the Twilight Council on the way. Oh god. Oh wait, no, he should be syncing this up with +2, right? Please don't go to teased, MC. I mean, he could. The great thing about going for oh,
I see that pylon. There's a pylon in the corner.
And there's also the hidden spire once again here for Vortix. This is really once again very deadly. How avid is MC's scouting is the question.
But how quickly can he get those units up? Because MC just added 5 more gateways, Kalaris. I think he's gearing up to do something pretty soon.
I don't know. I think it's still like just macro onto the 3 base. Adding on all these gateways will just allow him to keep himself well in the know. But he's playing this smartly. Securing 3 base with Blink and +2 is a fantastic way of shutting down a far larger multiple of things than it is to rocket straight up to 2 Robos with Robo Bay and go for double Colossus production. But the interesting thing here is that MC, this mind game from Vortix isn't working because MC doesn't have a Robo. He doesn't have that Observer shocking around his opponent's base. The Infestation Pit has not been seen here by MC, so he's still accounting for everything that could happen.
Yeah, he's going straight into +2 Blink Stalkers, and the Spire is not exactly your ideal counter to that at all. So MC now, with those gateways complete, is looking to push out across the map. There's a forward pylon going down at the Xel'Naga Tower, and we could be seeing an engagement very soon. MC looking to get very aggressive. 15 Mutalisks on the way, but Blink is now complete.
This is very interesting how this game's folding out. I am like, because Zergs do this because they're expecting their opponent to scout. They're expecting them to be, in essence, I don't want to say, I'm just going to say it like this, good in inverted commas. They're expecting them to be avidly scouting, but MC isn't. He's just playing this blindly. He's going to take down this 4th hatchery, and the Mutalisks are going to come in. This is a pretty good position. Lovely force fields separating off those Zerglings.
So good. We needed to make sure that the Zerglings didn't harass those sentries there at the beginning of that engagement, and the Mutalisks are falling like flies, Kalaris. MC, even if this gets cleaned up, he has done so much damage, and it doesn't look like he wants to go home either. He's blinking forward, being very aggressive, and I think Vortix might just die to this.
He might do. I mean, there's 17 roaches on the way. Speed's not done yet. Even that would have been so useful if he'd have just reinforced with a ton of Zerglings that have been great against those Blink Stalkers, because right now, those Blink Stalkers are not in critical mass. He's going to bring down this 4th pretty soon here, as well as all the roaches on the way, and all the roaches are going to come in staggered, and he hasn't killed the rocks between the 3rd. GG! Oh my god, that game turned out so strange, and MC takes a very convincing 2-0 over Vortix.
Those Stalkers with the +2 were one-shotting those roaches at the end there, Kalaris, and like you mentioned, those roaches were coming in staggered. It was going to be so difficult for him to get any amount of damage. He needed to pull them up, sack a hatch, and then just hope and see if he can out-micro his opponent or get into a really good position to fend that off, but that didn't happen. And unfortunately there, that push just killed him outright.